Hi guys, thanks for watching. This video is about Miles Johnston. He's saying that I'm putting out fake information and lying and slander and all the rest of it. Well, this video is about the proof that he owns these 400 porn sites that he claims not to own. And this is just proof of that because he said I'm lying and there's no proof. Well, this is the proof and there's some more in the video. Thanks for watching. I'm going to add some clips then after this. So I've put a statement from Joanne Summerscales as well, which is his former partner of Amash. She put out a statement when they broke up, so I think it's worth listening to that. She's just said exactly what I've been saying, and people seem to have forgotten all this and forgotten what happened and what he's like, and this is going unnoticed, so I want to highlight this again. She does make a few inaccuracies, and one thing that really annoyed me, she said she had no idea what was going on. That's a lie. She knew what he was like. I will bring up the name Maria Gostova. That girl was hounded before I just came on the scene. It was new, and she was making all these claims about Johnston, and they covered all that up, took her videos down, put claims in against her, and she disappeared. But she was saying exactly the same things. And so Joanne Summerscales knew about that. She also knew about, just before my daughter died, while she was, she was ill for a week and in hospital for a week, and a lot of things happened during that couple of weeks. Miles Johnston was feeding my information to Simon Parks, and Simon Parks just came out of the blue. Oh, I've got some information for you and I can save your daughter. And I'm supposed to go, oh my God, how did you know? How did you know? Oh, thank you, thank you. Straight away I know fucking Johnston's been feeding him my personal information. And anyway, he was trying to get me, I'll be your master, you have to be our slaves and all this shit, but I'm going to expose that soon. You need to be my slave and I can save your daughter. This is what he was saying. I told Joanne and Miles straight away, I said, look at this, look what he's doing, look at these emails he sent me, what's this about? And it was like, do you ever say something in a room and no one likes what you're saying, they just turn their heads and walk away? I swear to God, they both did that. They just looked at the ground, turned their heads away, and they both just walked away and didn't answer what I said, didn't respond to what I said. And I said, you think that's okay? He's doing that? What's that about? Not even a comment. They wouldn't answer me. So I left it at that. So to say she knew about all the harassment he was giving me long before they split up. She knew about the harassment he was giving other people. So to say she didn't know, she bloody knew. I don't like that. You knew, Joanne Summerscales, you knew. That's why you broke up with him. So why are you saying you didn't know for? Miles Johnston claims now, it's got Miles Johnston, North Riding Point Underground Video UK. Video UK. .epinet.org. Miles Johnston, North Riding Point Underground Video UK at epinet.org, and then it's got all these other things connected to him. Now, he is claiming Underground Video UK is not his. Now, I'm going to prove it is. That's the first bit of evidence there. Let's jump to another one. Right, I've located the list of over 400 porn sites. And I got it from a site called Robtex, ROBTEX.org. It's DNS server lookup. Now these are all the sites here. Some of the names are absolutely disgusting. I've sent this out to a few people who've requested it from me, and they've looked at some of the sites. I don't think they've gone into them, but checked the names and stuff like that, and a lot of them look well, they said look like snuff and underage. There's everything here you could think of. Swingers, casino stuff, free gambling, every kind of deviant you can get. Everything. Gay, everything. Everything. Schoolgirls, everything. Yeah, here's the end here. Right down to 400. Right, let's see. Right, let's go in a little bit. Miles Johnston, Underground Video UK. Miles Johnston, littlepussy.com, Underground Video UK, Miles Johnson, littlepussy.com, Miles Johnson, Underground Video UK, Alien Abduction UK, Miles Johnson, Underground Video UK, Miles Johnson. Okay, there's proof that that is his. He is claiming this is not his. He disproved it. He put, I disproved all that. All he did was went up and said, these are not mine. That's him disproving it. There was no proof, no anything. He did say that site's not mine. It's nothing to do with me. They've stolen it or something like that. Yeah. He gives it away in the video. As I said, I'll put the clip. So this is not disproven. He's actually proven it even more. Not disproven it. Okay, that's some more evidence. Okay, let's just hear this. Underground Video is not his, right?
By myself, produced by myself and edited at the Avondale Suite, produced by Underground Video and now MJ Media, is part of the Basis project. The Basis...
Hear that? It's not his. This was in probably 2013. This was 2013. You forgot, did you? Proof. Hi guys, this video is about Miles Johnston. I just want to read out a statement made by Joanne Summerscales when she actually finished with Miles Johnson, when they finished Amash. I was blamed on the breakup of this, and it was nothing to do with me at all, and he's still slandering me and abusing me since. But the breakup of Amash was already in the pipeline before I came on the scene. It was already in the pipeline before the Channel 4 documentary. We were just told to... Joanne did tell me, look, I'm splitting up with him, just let's do the documentary and he'll be gone, don't worry about it, but don't say anything till it's finished. So they went on TV as an organisation, still going strong, when really they weren't. There was no organisation. There was none. They were gone before it even went out to air. Anyway, I'm going to read this by Joanne Summerscales that she wrote about Miles Johnson. And I think a lot of people seem to be suffering with amnesia where this man is concerned. So I'm just going to remind you. The end of Miles Johnson. Insights and updates to those who would like to know about Mr. Johnston. I feel it is time that I put in the people in the picture. I thought I would update you about what Miles has been up to in recent times, particularly in respect of causing damage to Amash and trying to cause me harm and damage through defamatory and, in all probability, libelous behaviour. Just a bit of background, and do feel free to pass on to whomever you wish to. This is to clarify my position and that of Amash, in case you are unaware of the strange and bizarre behaviours of my now, thank God, ex-colleague Miles Johnston. For about 18 months now, it is clear that Miles has been sabotaging Amash from the inside and doing quite a job, as I didn't realise for quite a while either, until others reported to me concerns about his strange and bizarre behaviours, his irrational outbursts of temper. These seem to begin from the time of serious interest from the media about Amash. Some believe that its behaviours are initiated by jealousy and are like that of a spurned individual. I think in hindsight it might stem from the fact that his work on Basis for 20 years has been without any interest from mainstream media, and be at the root of it, cheeky Amash, at only 15 months old, was attracting it in bucket loads. It could also relate to the fact that he was into porn. Never easy to be around, because he had it on his computer when I was around to do filming or editing. But I do think, all judgment aside, that this sort of murky energy can have a person open to darker elements. Below is a summary of some of his behaviours. I haven't read this before, I've just kept out of it. This is actually the first time I'm reading this. No lie. During his time with Amash, Miles's behaviour would range from irrational outbursts, explosions of temper, anger, based on nothing that I could tell, to outright bullying and constantly trying to take over the project. He frequently threatened not turning up for filming, especially during both conferences. He was aggressive and unpleasant with bouts of calm. It was like being around an alcoholic, and I think this may be part of his problem. I said that. Unbeknownst to me, he was also virtually stalking people whom I had interviewed. Women only, of course. Thank you, John. I was one of those women, with upsetting and personal calls, mails and texts, and would not stop even when challenged to do so. Yeah, I raised it several times with Joanne. She had a word. He just refused. The man is a narcissist, yet there's no law applies to him. He's a law unto himself. He would make inappropriate comments to female interviewees, yeah, and he was always making sexual innuendos around me, whatever we were doing. I assure you that this was strictly a work relationship. And the same with me. I don't care what people say. He's putting out these nonsense things. There was nothing other than my interviews between me and him. I have no interest in the man whatsoever. A spurned lover, this rubbish, absolutely not. The man is a sack of shite. I would not be interested in him if he was the last man on earth. If he was the last man on earth, I'd be right over the other side, miles away. Okay. Strictly a work relationship. Once the Channel 4 documentary filmmaking was underway, he extended his stalking behaviour to the production team, calling all times of the night. Oh my God, I have emails to prove that. 2 of the girls had to have therapy after that programme. That's no word of a lie. I have the emails to prove that. 2 of the little girls, you know, the assistant, production assistant, young girls working on the crew, had to have therapy. He was ringing them all sorts with nonsense and threats and paranoia and, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. But I have a lot of emails to prove all this. I should start putting them online. All sorts of times at night. I had no idea he was doing all of this until they called me up, very concerned about his behaviour. They reported that he was behaving like someone very unbalanced. Yeah, I got the same emails from the girls and Channel 4 director. This was serious. This guy is a complete nut job. And everyone saw it during that filming. Unfortunately, with filming underway, it was impossible for them to do anything other than manage the situation. He would tell production staff that dreadful things would now start happening to them. Honestly, you couldn't make this up. Like the 6 agents following him from my house when he went to get a sandwich. 6 or 8, he said. 6 or 8. From my house. He went down the road, he said to get a sandwich, and he went into a jewellery shop and picked up a watch, and somebody, one of the guys, the agents, just snatched it out of his hand for the sole purpose of stealing his energy from the watch. There's no jewellery shops down where he went in West Kensington. There's no jewellery shops down there. I don't even think, there might be only one down, really far down, Kensington High Street, down near Church Street. He didn't go that far. He went out for 2 minutes. And 6, unbalanced. Unfortunately, with filming underway, all they could do was manage the situation. He would tell production staff that dreadful things would now start happening to them. Honestly, you couldn't make this up. During the filming, he constantly harassed both of the women who appeared. Let me be clear, also to the point of people participating in the documentary. They did it as individuals, making a choice to take part or not, and I had zero to do with the outcome of either their filmed appearance. Yeah. Take yourself out of the picture, Joanne, and you weren't to blame at all. You were with me when we saw it, when we saw the final cut, and you knew about it. I walked out, but you said it was good. I stormed out from the director's cut with all the Channel 4 crew and everybody in the room. I stormed out, and you came out and said, "What's wrong with it? I thought it was really good." You thought it was really good, okay. So you've taken yourself out of that, so nothing to you anyway. Yes, no, we were told it was a serious documentary from day one, by you, by him, by everybody. So don't say you had no part in it. That annoyed me now. You had a full part in it. You had more control than Johnston had in this documentary. And plus, the next day, the day after this was aired, she disappeared. Not an email, nothing. She just disappeared. Disappeared completely off the face of the earth. I haven't heard a word since. That was in 2013. No apology, nothing. The reason why I fell out with her was because she always said, "No, go near the sun, don't go near the sun." The next day she went to the sun. My full picture, my name, address, everything. and I wanted to keep my surname out of it and all that. She put everything in. It was all in the front of in the Sun next morning, or the Mirror, one of them. And even my family in Dublin saw it. Went over. It was national, international. And she said, never go to the Sun, they take the piss, they do this, they do that. But it didn't stop her from running with my story and giving my details out. It didn't stop her at all. So, shame on you. You have a lot to answer to in this. I'd say you had more to do with this than Johnston. But seeing as your partners, you take 50% responsibility. But you arranged this. You spoke to the people more than he did. He just tagged along like a lapdog. And I was there, I saw it. So you dealt with them more than anything. I mean, they invited you to the cut and not him and me. That says it all. Okay, it had zero to do with the outcome of either their filmed appearance or the outcome. Of course. He called me one day to say his lunch was being disturbed by one of the women who was threatening a suicide. So bad was the harassment. That was the other one with the hair. And he told me we had a situation. I spent an hour on the phone with this lady. I was absolutely shocked and more than concerned that anyone could cause such distress to the point that she couldn't take things anymore. Now, I at the time of this, I had no idea what he was like because I'd only known him 6 months probably, and I had little to do with him. So I had no idea what was going on. But now, I thought to myself, oh, come on, commit suicide over him? Ridiculous. But now, 7, 8 years down the line, and I've seen what he's like, he's pushed me close to the edge several times. Honest to God, this man can drive anyone to jump off a cliff. Seriously. As I said, the two of the girls had to get therapy only after working with him for a couple of months. So that says it, you know. So, oh God. He called me one day, such a stress, to the point that she couldn't take things anymore. She felt so ill with his refusal to stop badgering her that she felt pushed to the edge. It escalated to her ex-husband telling Miles to stop what he was doing. So Miles has been undermining the well-being and direction of Amash for a long time. Can this all be just down to jealousy? Earlier in the year, he took down all the videos from YouTube, so none were available on a power ego trip. Right, he used to do this regularly. These two clowns always arguing, take them down, put them up, take them down. And somebody would tell me, Maria, videos are gone. And I'd say, I don't know what's going on. And then I'd ask him, what's happening with the videos? And he'd say, the trolling was really bad. I had to take them down. And you were being really trolled. There was so many bad comments and I'm taking it down for your benefit. And I said, well, I saw loads of positive comments. I didn't see any negative comments. Only until his shower came in and started gang stalking me. The basis people, they're the only ones who gang stalked me and trolled me. People connected to him. The public were really nice. And I got a really positive feedback from the... But he used to take the videos down and then he'd say sometimes that, oh, she didn't like her makeup. She didn't like her this. I had to take it down. She's so vain. And you wouldn't believe that woman. She comes at me like a snake, like venomous. She's so, she's vile. And he'd tell me all these stories. And of course I didn't know him or her. And I wasn't talking to her. So he was just telling me all this. And I was saying, oh my God, that's awful. And this is all early days. And then when I found out what he was doing, when my videos had any positive comments, he'd take them down and start them from scratch. Or if they got a lot of views, they got loads, hundreds of thousands of views from the beginning. And he'd take them all down, with all the views and comments, and put them back up again from scratch so they wouldn't get hardly any views, a few 100,000 maybe, something like that. He did that all the time. And this was as well to... one of the reasons I think was so he didn't want people to know how much money he was making. You know, all the views. Because I did find a report, his analytics one day, and he was making quite a lot of money a month, quite a lot. I mean, a couple of grand just on the videos. I saw anyway. Right, it escalated to the point of her husband telling him what he was doing. So Miles undermining the well-being and direction of Amash for a long time. Can this all be down to jealousy? Earlier in the year, he took down all the videos from YouTube, so none were available on a power trip ego. I had completely trusted him with elements of the video side, expecting us to be working together for time to come, but now realised that he would not be satisfied until he had taken control of Amash. I had given him complete control of all video making, uploading and editing work, and he took advantage, creating a situation whereby he was solely in charge. Since then, I knew there was no possibility of working together further. I could not know he was causing so much trouble and damage from the very early days. His behaviour was clearly seen by others with vision I don't have, and on several occasions. I was warned of a traitor in the camp and to be careful, but I had no idea they meant Miles, because at that time I was managing things and couldn't believe they meant him. It just didn't make sense. At least I didn't see the signals then. His behaviour got so strange and belligerent that I had to cut all contact, refusing to have anything further to do with him or anyone else. She left me to him. She just ran off, wouldn't respond to anything, and he took it out on me basically for years. So she's responsible for that. I hold her responsible for that. She should have sorted out her shit, not left it with me. That's one of the main reasons. She should have sorted out her shit. He emailed me to say that he knew he was off the project, but not before he wrote a bizarre email saying that there was a sex dossier on him. Oh, see, this is what he said to me. I had a sex dossier on him. This is exactly what he said to me. So there's verification for you. I didn't make that up, like he's saying I made it up. And that he was cut to the bone. I got exactly, yeah, that's what he said to me, cut to the bone. He was going to be exposed. Needless to say, whether he has made porn films or not, I can assure the world that the last thing in my world that I would want is seeing Miles in a porn flick. Exactly what I said. If that thing did exist, that would be the last thing I would have near me or in my house. Exactly the same. Since the airing of the documentary, which in my view was dreadful, but created some very positive contacts and responses, maybe for you, he has embarked on a campaign defaming me, starting with the ridiculous, saying that I am a reptilian, and then going on to infer that I am not safe around children. Of course, I was promoting the Amash checks element of the work checks child experiencer, as I have spoken to some parents over time, and further crazy things. He's continuing to peddle bizarre, false and utterly ridiculous things about me and putting them all out on YouTube. I think he said I would never get a CRB check, if he knows what that is. I have had one for a long time and still do. I'm not happy with these people bringing in children myself anyway. I'm not agreeing with Miles Johnston by any means, but I don't agree with bringing children into this cesspit. And any decent person who's in it knows what it's like, and to bring children in is totally, totally irresponsible and sickening. Children have no place in this madness. Seriously. And she's been in it, she's seen what it's like more than anybody, and she wants to bring children in. Sod off. I'm glad that didn't work out anyway. I was alerted that he was due to speak about Amash at the St. Anne's conference, which is now nothing to do with him. So I contacted Sam, the organiser, to tell him what Miles is doing, and that as he is no longer involved with Amash, he is not allowed to speak about Amash, and Sam duly passed this on. I shall ensure that I attend on Sunday to hear what he has to say. I consider Miles to be mirroring what he is putting out. This kind of transference is not uncommon. Either that or he is an infiltrator, mentally challenged, or all of the above. One thing is for certain, I will not let him near vulnerable people, especially women, with his predatory behaviours. She didn't mind leaving me in it. And just after my daughter died as well. Within months, she left me with this lunatic. Since he has been off the project, Amash has had incredible things developing, which will be coming in the near future. It is as if now the dark energy is gone. A whole range of collaborations and contacts have come forward in an unprecedented way, and it is really a very exciting phase of development. I had to make people aware of just some of what Miles has been doing, as I have been working so much behind the scenes of Amash and no one has yet heard from me, but now I'm getting ready to move forward. He obviously thinks that Amash is no more and that I am lying down quietly to die in the aftermath of his sabotaging. Guess what? This is not the case. One of the things you should do is clear up your mess and apologise to a few people, myself included. You've never done that. So to me, you're no better than him. Okay, well that's the thing with Miles Johnston, that his partner, who worked with him for 2 odd years, put out. So am I lying? Is she lying? Are all the other women lying?